Hey, it's Aprille here, and I'm actually taking this week off. But just because I am taking a little vacation doesn't mean I'm going to leave you high and dry without some really great value. So this week of the podcast, I'm going to be airing an interview I actually did with Cindy Rodriguez of The Fierce Entrepreneur. In that episode, I talk about how to go full-time in your business. I hope you enjoy. So welcome again to the Webinar Hustlers Entrepreneur Podcast, and you're listening to episode 27.
Want to work less and sell more? Welcome to the Webinar Hustlers Entrepreneur Podcast, the podcast to help you scale up and take your business to the next level with webinars that sell for you. Each episode focuses on the money mindset, online marketing, and sales strategies to get you more leads and convert leads to sales, all with webinars. And now your host, business and webinar strategist, Aprille.
Welcome to the show, Aprille.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Cindy.
I'm excited to have you on. Tell me about yourself outside of your business.
I am a Christian and a wife and mother to 3 beautiful boys. Their ages are 11, 12, and 2 years old. So quite a gap there. I love art. I love design and watching The Walking Dead, which is back, which is back on the air. So yay!
Tell me about your business and how you got started.
I started out as a business coach, so I guess I won't go like all the way to the beginning, but I will just talk about what led me to what I'm doing now, which is webinars for coaches. Mm-hmm. So I started out as a general business coach, and I was getting my one-on-one clients through Facebook because practically everybody and their grandmothers are on Facebook. So I was posting every day, getting value, and just really being consistent, putting myself out there. And I enrolled my first client into I think it was a 10 or 2-month program. Yeah, 2-month program. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh. Well, I was excited, but then I quickly was like upset because like it took a lot of work just to get that one-on-one client. Mm-hmm. Because depending on how good you are at closing on your discovery calls, you may need 4 to 10 discovery calls booked just to get that one. And to even get 4 to 10 calls booked in a week, you got to be visible to everybody. Everybody needs to see your stuff. You need to be offering free consultations. And it was just a lot of work. And I was happy, but it was kind of slow after that because it was feast and famine where, I have this client now, so now I need to focus on the client, but I'm kind of lacking in posting in Facebook group and trying to find that next one because I'm just bothered with this one. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in my living room almost in tears because it's like, if this is how my business has to run to get the second, the third, and the fourth, plus being an introvert, I don't know how I'm going to make it because it was just difficult putting myself out there just to get that one. And I said, clearly there has got to be another way. There's got to be another way. And then that's where I discovered webinars. But all the strategies were practically teaching you how to sell your course or some other type of physical product or program, but nobody was really teaching you how to get people to schedule the discovery call. And so I was watching or signing up for a ton of webinars and just trying to see what they were all doing to engage their audience and how they were selling and pitching. And so when I did my first webinar, that's what I did. I sent people to a calendar link instead of having a physical product to sell because you You can't just send people to a sales page and say, hey, here's my sales page now. Pay me $5,000. There has to be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And once I discovered that I knew how to do this. Now, my first webinar was nowhere near perfect, but I was able to hit certain metrics that they say you need to do to even be able to sell on a webinar. I was like, this is great. And I was finding that more people or coaches actually were struggling with, how do I sell one-on-one on a webinar? And so when I was able to get my first high-end client through my webinar, and then I was able to teach one of my other clients, the strategies that I was teaching on my webinar, she was able to get her own first client. I said, you know what? I need to do what they've been telling you to do all along, niche down, but I was there too. I need to niche down and just focus on webinars for coaches. And so that's what I do now. I'm a business, actually, I brand as a business strategist versus a coach, but a business strategist and a webinar funnel architect.
I absolutely love that. And I love the part about you being hesitant about niching down. And I'm sure you've heard, because it's a very common marketing term where people say, if you talk to everyone, you're talking to no one. So only talking to one person. And I have been finding that with my podcast, I'm like getting laser focused on like my target customer. And the reason I haven't done a full on new customer profile is because I've been busy, but I will do it ASAP. But I am finding I am getting emails from the one person that I'm talking to. You know what I mean? Like, your podcast touches me. Like, I downloaded all 100 episodes, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is the one person that I'm talking to, and I need to continue talking to them because there's so many of them. I need to talk to just one person. That's like when you go to a website and you buy what they're selling, because it's like, oh my gosh, do they know my brain? And it's because they have honed in on you. You are their ideal customer.
Exactly. I love that story because it's so true. When you understand your customer avatar or client avatar, they find you.
You don't have to sell them. They're going to be like, what's it going to cost? Send me the invoice.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be easy. When did you know you were an entrepreneur?
I would probably have to say 2010 is when I started my first business. But prior to that, I was dibbling and dabbling in MLM, just trying to make a little extra side money, side hustle. But in 2010 was when what I would call entrepreneurship, because I built a business from scratch where you had to get an EIN number and took some, I went back to my university and took like a business class and come up with a name, and then I had to trademark it. So I would say, I guess I always had it in me just because of those other ventures I was into. But when I knew it was probably in 2010, because I had to go through all the motions. And it's been a continuing journey, because even when I started that business back then, I just wanted it to replace my job income. The idea of making $500,000 or anything close to that $1 million was just out of the question. It's like, hey, if this business can make me $30,000 a year, then great, I can quit my job and I will be happy. But I have grown so much since then. Thank goodness. First of all, do not quit your job if your business is only making $30,000 a year, because there's so much you have to do with that money. Uncle Sam, invest back in your business. If I had to guess, I would say if your revenue is $30,000, you're probably only pocketing $12,000, $15,000. So, little side nugget there.
Yeah, I trust me, I did the same thing. I quit a job with like 1 month's worth of bills. Like that's what I had in savings. And I built up, it was like 35,000 in my first year. And I thought that was awesome. And, I guess it is, but it was hard to grow, right? Because we don't have extra money to buy this program that you really could really make your life easier. So it's so much better to plan things out. One thing you can do is save, but get 6 months worth of expenses in savings. And then, if you're only making 30,000 a year, you'll probably be able to get by because those 6 months you're going to use that to grow to make a lot more than 30 grand a year. But that's just a little tip.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I quit my job because I know this business is going to work, and I ended up going back because it was like, I didn't plan that too good.
I actually did that. I went back to a job last year in 2016. So by the time this airs, it wasn't last year. And then I became self-employed again at the beginning of 2017 in the second quarter. So
good for you. Good for you. Going back to the workforce doesn't mean you're giving up. I don't see that at all. It just means that you're smart enough to recognize, you know what, may have jumped the ship a little bit, and I go back to work so I can support my business because I'm not giving it up.
What advice do you have for someone that's getting started in business?
Oh my goodness, we were kind of just, but I'm not going to talk about not quitting your job, but it is. I would say investing smart, because when I first started my real business, the one I built from the ground up, I was investing in everything because I was looking at other businesses that were well established and seeing how good they were doing. And I felt like, I guess it was the comparinitis. And I felt like, you know what, I need to be at their level. I don't care that they've been in business 10 years and I've been in business 10 days. To be able to compete with them, I need to buy all these fancy new things and all these expensive equipment just to speed along where I should be. I want to be able to compete with them. And don't do that. Don't do that. And I say invest smart because you do want to invest in your business. There are some people that don't want to invest in anything and they're just going to use freebies. And sure, you can build a business that way, but it'll take a really long time. I mean, I guess I would compare it to going to the grocery store and you don't know where to find that ingredient for that recipe that you're just trying out from all recipes. And you just wander around the grocery store for 30 minutes because you're too shy to bother somebody who works there to ask, where the heck is this item? So yeah, you could do that, or you could just buy that app or get that mentor or spend a little money to support you in your business, but don't overkill and buy all the courses and getting a 20-hour per week day, and you don't really need that much.
So the whole point of this podcast actually is so that that beginner entrepreneur can listen to stories of women that they actually can model their business after, or they can admire, right? It's not people that are making millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. It's this person that just quit their job, or this person, like how we were saying, we start off making 30 grand and then you make more. And so that the beginning entrepreneur that's listening can actually take action instead of feeling bad that 24-year-old Susie, whatever, is a multimillionaire and they're 30 and they're not.
Right. Right. Yeah, been there.
Same here. Aside from not wanting to work for someone else and aside from your family, what's your why?
I would say what I'm doing now with webinars, it allows me the opportunity to do what I love, which is just art and design, and to inspire people who, they have this passion, or they feel like they have this purpose to go out there and help, and they're not quite sure how to do it. And I typically work with female entrepreneurs who are trying to make an impact. I just see webinars allowing them to extend their reach so they can help more people. So I just love that aspect of it. And actually, everyone I've worked with have been moms. So just the fact that they can spend time with their family more, with their children more, and not have their time dictated. It's just, I love to be in service of that.
If you could have lunch with one business thought leader, who would it be?
I would say Tony Robbins, with a close second, Dave Ramsey. I've never went to like one of Tony Robbins' shows or whatever, but I think I could learn a lot from having lunch with him, and just his wisdom and everything. And if not him, definitely Dave Ramsey. I've been a Dave Ramsey follower since 2009.
Yeah, I like them both. I like Dave Ramsey. I haven't listened to him in a while. What's your favorite business book?
You know what? I don't really read a lot of business books. I probably have read 2 or 3. So I'm going to say I don't have one. I read like a ton of personal development books. I guess if I had to pick like my favorite book, it would be The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews. And that book, I don't know if you've heard of that book before. It's a great book. It goes through the 7, I forgot what he calls them. There's like 7 decisions that we can make in our lives to make our lives wonderful. Like one of them is choosing to be happy. So no matter what's going on, just choosing to be happy. And like another one is the buck stops here. So no longer are you going to look at your life situation and says, I'm not where I want to be because my boss didn't give me that raise, or my parents never encouraged me to do anything, and that's why my life sucks. No, but it just really goes into looking at your life and making it your responsibility, or being aware that it is your responsibility to make your life however you choose it to be. So that would be my most favorite personal development book, because it's a story, but it's a lesson.
That's cool. I'm going to add it to my to-read list.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good read.
Do the Audible version, then yeah.
Okay. Thank you. What's your favorite internet resource or app that just makes your life easier?
Oh my gosh, it has to be Canva. At first I was going to say Zoom, just because I can use Zoom for meetings, I can use it for webinars, but it has to be Canva, just because it's just so easy to pop in there and create my social media graphics. I can go in there and create my freebies. Like I said, I love design, so it has just made my life so much easier. I find it a lot faster than Photoshop, and it's free. But I do have the paid version, but yeah, hands down, Canva.
Okay. So where can listeners find you online? What's your website? Where are you at on social media?
Sure. So my website is www.aprilreed.com. I spell April Aprille. So yeah, aprilreed.com. And on social media, now for Facebook, it's April Reed Biz. So APRILLEREEDBIZ. But Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest is just April Reed.
All right. Well, April, thanks so much for sharing your story with us today. It's been so fun talking to you.
Yes, this has been fun as well for me. This is great. Thank you so much for having me, Cindy.
Well, that's another show in the bag. Hey guys, don't forget to leave a rating on iTunes. And if you know another mompreneur or entrepreneur that can benefit from the teachings and the lessons on this show, then please share.
Thanks for listening to the Webinar Hustlers Entrepreneur Podcast at www.aprilreed.com.